2.9 Solving algebraic equations with adding and subtracting. I can solve algebraic equations using addition and subtraction.
Do you guys feel like you can actually do that now?
Yes.
And most of the algebraic equations you're going to see today in your homework assignment, are you going to know the answer before you even solve?
No.
Yes, you are. They're going to be pretty darn simple. However, do I care about the answer?
No.
What do I care about?
The work.
The work, the process. Good. Inverse operations means operations that what?
Undo each other.
Can you stop tapping your pencil, please? Operations that do what again?
Undo each other.
And then we have these property of equality. Number 3 is the addition property of equality. Number 4 is the subtraction property of equality. Basically, the properties of equality, raise your hand please. Basically, the properties of equality state you must what? Alice?
Add the same thing to both sides.
Add or subtract the same thing to both sides, right? So just do the same thing to both sides. We're going to get into multiplication and division, and it's also going to hold true for them. So some good examples there in the vocab of the subtraction and addition property of equality. All right, so I told you a very long story about my friend Tiffany, who wrote a song for her and I when we were in the 6th grade to help us solve algebraic equations. The song is right here. Remember Tiffany? And I'm just going to play it really quick in her video, I think. I'm not going to play it in the video. Actually, I need to rewind it. Right here, I am going to play it. I think we're alone now. That's our key phrase. We want to say...
Get the variable alone now.
Get them... What?
Get the variable.
Okay, is that going to help our video if we all are off sync there?
No.
So if I ask you a question, can we try to get on sync? I know we can because I've had other classes that do it.
Okay.
So if I ask you a question what is the point of that song? It is to go.
Get the variable alone.
Thank you. That's how it should be in videos. All right, so then what we did is we gave you an equation like x plus 2 equals 4. All of you knew the answer was 2, yes or no?
Yes.
Again, I don't care about the answer. I cared about how you got to the answer. And so step 1 is to get the variable alone now, which is something you're going to say every single time you get to an algebraic equation. How do you get this x all by itself?
Subtract.
Going to use a property of equality, right?
Yes.
The property of equality that's going to help us would be the subtraction property of equality. So in order to get x by itself, we need to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, yes or no?
Yes.
Actually, we need to subtract 2 from this side to get x by itself. But if we subtract from this side, we have to. And then the next step is called the cleanup step. Do positive 2 and negative 2 cancel each other out?
Yes.
What are we left with?
X.
What is 4 minus 2?
2.
Do my equal signs need to line up?
Yes.
You are going to get into steps that are into problems that have way more than just one step. Number 7 is very similar. Number 8 is very similar, using properties of equality. Number 9 was a word problem between Claire and Alice and how much money they each have in their pocket. I'll let you read that on your own. The rule for writing algebraic equations, because really the thing I wanted to know the most is could you write an algebraic equation for this problem? You must always include the variable with another term on one side of the equation. Okay, you may not take, in this problem we were trying to figure out how much money, or what the difference was between Claire's money and Alice's money. You could not take 180.25 and subtract 94.50 if I asked you to write an algebraic equation. That's not an algebraic equation. That's just a subtraction problem. So what we did is we made up our rules saying, again, the variable must be included with another term, and I think it was Marin, right? Marin, did you come up with this and Carly?
Yeah.
You guys said, well, we're going to take Alice's money, 94.50. We're going to add the difference, and that's going to equal Claire's money. And then I said to Marin, what is x? I don't even know what x is. And you said x is what again, Marin? The difference between how much money they have. Yes or no?
Yes.
Last thing I want to show that, I know this is kind of a long video, and it usually is our cheat sheet. I think Luke and Mahad came up with this. They said, which is basically what we talked about the entire time in solving these algebraic equations. Step 1, get the variable alone now. That's the first thing you're thinking about. As you're doing that, you're cleaning up the equation as you solve. And then the last thing is smart people always do what? Check their answer. And down here on this one, we said x equals 2. We checked by plugging back into the original equation. Got it?
Yeah.